Howdy there, everybody. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back for the What If series. For today's video, I'll be talking about one of the most incredible artists slash musicians of all time. He's such a goddamn legend, and his name is Prince. What story am I talking about for this? So, we'll be continuing the era in the year of 2013 slash 2014 when I talked about on the last video I did on Prince about Rock in Rio 2012. So now this is a sequel to the video, so let's get right on it. So in his career in the 2010s, it's right after the 2012 performance leading up to his tour, as I called it, the Crystal Ball Tour. As we all know that this tour never happened, but what if this would be Prince's big final spectacle world tour instead of his tours Live Out Loud and Hit and Run Part 2. This would take place in late 2012, right after the Rock in Rio shows. He wants to make something huge, as fans would never forget. The development of the tour has started while Prince was on tour in Australia continuing his Welcome To tour and set the prep for the gigs. And in a large scale in the arena slash stadium where the stage will be. Well, in the middle. Not in the main stage, but as a B stage. Example, the full B stage as a ball, where the leather rises up in the middle where the crowd will be standing at, as the main stage is normal as he always staged during his previous tours. And in some point, it would circle around while Illusion be played from the Musicology album. They would expand the idea more, so they did that. 24 days after the Rock in Rio shows, the title for the tour got announced on his website on July 29th, 2012. Fans giving out of theories like it's going to be the greatest hits tour. Well, it is, but there is a catch. It's something really different as a conceptional concert tour. However, no dates has been finalized yet at that time. Then on November 3rd, 2012, 97 days after the tour got announced, they'd announced the dates, so you don't need to wait much longer, and they would be touring throughout of 2013. But still no dates been announced. Then 76 days later, on January 18th, 2013, a countdown popped up in the brand new Crystal Ball website. It says, "Get your tickets now before June 3rd. And that means it's the date, the launch of the tour. So they kick off in the US for the tickets in January. Then February is South America. Then March is New Zealand and Australia. However, Asia and Europe have to wait a bit longer. But it seems Australia, Asia, and Europe won't be coming to do the tour until throughout 2014. Except for New Zealand and Melbourne because they had dates for 2013. Then July came of 2013 as the tickets got announced for them, and finally to Europe in November of that year. However, all of those dates sold out. As New York is the kickoff the tour of opening night, the audience walks to the arena. There's a barricade in the B stage because at some point Prince would rise up when the kickoff of the first track will be performed. Lights deemed off, the sexy motherfucker takes the stage as set, the Crystal Ball. Now, let's take a look at the tour dates and set list for the Crystal Ball World Tour. So we started off at New York City on June 3rd, 4th, 6th, 7th, 10th, 11th, and 15th. Wow, that's a huge dates. Then Philadelphia, June 17th. Toronto, June 20th and 21st. Montreal, June 24th and 25th. Boston, June 30th. DC, July 5th, 6th, 8th, and 10th. Atlanta, July 13th, 14th, and 16th. Chicago, July 17th and 19th. Then Kansas City, July 21st. Denver, July 24th. San Diego, July 25th. LA, July 28th, 29th, 30th, and August 2nd. Then Phoenix, August 5th and 7th. And finally, Viva Las Vegas, August 10th, 11th, 12th, 15th, 17th, and 20th. Then headed to South America in Rio, kicking off there on September 27th, 28th, October 1st, 2nd, and 4th. Then Buenos Aires on October 6th. And finally at Santiago, October 8th. Then we headed to New Zealand and Australia So we kick off in Auckland in November 27th, 29th, and 30th. Then Wellington, December 3rd and 5th. And then headed to Melbourne, December 8th, 9th, 11th, and 12th. However, the 3 additional dates will be the following year, as Prince will come back to the Melbourne shores for the next 3 shows. That'll be in January 14th, 15th, and 17th in the new year of 2014. And then we head up to Adelaide on January 20th, then Sydney, January 22nd, 23rd, and 24th, then Brisbane, January 27th, and finally Perth, January 29th. Then we moved to the Asian leg of the tour. Well, it's still in the US state, but kind of whatever. That's where I put it there. Then they head off to Hawaii on March 5th, 6th, 8th, 10th, 11th, and 13th. Then Tokyo, March 15th, 17th, and 18th. Then Osaka, March 21st and 23rd. Then Yokohama, March 25th. Hong Kong, March 27th. Singapore, March 28th. And finally Bangkok, March 31st. And finally going to Europe in London on April 2nd, 4th, 5th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 12th, 13th, 15th, 17th, 20th, and 22nd. It would be like a residency for that. And then we head to Munich, Germany on April 24th. Then Stockholm, April 26th. Then Copenhagen, April 30th. And then Hamburg, May 2nd. Berlin, May 4th. Paris, May 7th and 8th. Oslo, May 10th. Gothenburg, May 12th. And then Barcelona on May 15th and 17th. And finally at Madrid, May 20th. Now to the set. It's a very unusual set list that Prince never done like this. So we start off with the Crystal Ball Part 1. So the Crystal Ball record, we know it's a 10-minute record. So I decided to cut down into parts. Into part 1, 2, 3, and 4. So you hear that throughout this set list. So like I said, Crystal Ball Part 1. And then we go with Illusion, Black Sweat, Controversy, Rave, When I Lay My Hands on You, and finally Get Off. That's the first half of the show. Then the second half of the show is the hits. So we go with Crystal Ball Part 2. Then we'll go with Cream, The Work Part 1, Check the Record. As of at that time is unreleased because Welcome to America never came out until 2021. And then we end up with When Doves Cry. And then, however, throughout the tour, there'll be times that Prince won't be doing an acoustic set, and there'll be times he will shorten the set between from 2 to 3 songs, or how many songs he's in the mood at this point. Or he will do the full set. So here is the full set of the acoustic moments. So we started off with Incense and Candles, then Silent Other Times, Muse to the Pharaoh, Raspberry Beret, Greatest Romance Ever Sold, Thieves in the Temple, Mankind, and finally Diamonds and Pearls. Then we have the deeper cuts of Prince. So we go with Crystal Ball Part 3, then If I Was Your Girlfriend, Musicology, Love, Shh, Bat Dance, and finally Kiss. And then we end up with an encore of You Make My Sunshine, Purple Rain, and finally we left off in Part 4. And as a Part 4, they will have the credits roll while the band will be playing it in the last 3 to 4 minutes of the record while Prince will be leaving the building. Then after the tour, it was a massive one, and critics and fans saying one of the best performances they've ever seen, as it will be Prince's final large-scale world tour before his passing. Well, that is it for the What If series. Hope you all enjoy it. Comment, like, and subscribe if y'all haven't subscribed to me yet. You won't miss out any content I'll be putting out, and hit the notification bell, please do so. Take care of yourselves, and see y'all next time.